Ritter Communications presents Westside Warrior Football on Tubetown.
And welcome to Crider Field as we're ready to begin week number 2 of high school football in Arkansas. Andy Manus and Blake Gwynn coming to you live tonight on the campus of Hoxie High School as the Hoxie Mustangs play host to the Westside Warriors in a non-conference matchup. Blake, the Warriors riding high, starting the season 2-0, standing in their way, an undefeated Hoxie Mustang football team. Yeah, of course, Hoxie, as we mentioned, 2-0 on the year. They had to go through a couple of 4A teams to get to that record, defeating both Cave City and, of course, Truman last week. And, Blake, they didn't just eke out wins in those 2 games. They dominated those games. Of course, the Westside Warriors are excited about their about the return of Logan McPherson, also the return of Dylan Russell. Both of those guys sat out last week, and we're going to get to see a little bit more of River Ingle tonight, as he was a little bit banged up last week, and Jared Garner took the majority of the snaps for the Warriors. So good to have them back. We're ready for kickoff. The Mustangs won the toss. They have elected to receive. They'll take the opening kickoff inside the 15-yard line. Out to the 25, now the 30, the 35, 40. In the middle of the field between the hash marks, still on his feet, and all the way down to the Hoxie logo. A great return there, and I think that was Davey Powell on the return.
Going to be good field position to start off this drive, just what they wanted to get things off and running. So good, looking for a good momentum starter to get this drive going here. If you're the Mustangs, start things off on the right foot.
Well, the Mustangs are always a fun team to watch at the high school level. They'll play a little bit of a different offense than you'll often see at this level of play. They like to air it out, Blake.
They do. Tom Sear's always been an air-it-out guy. They somehow find a way to make that happen year after year. Not always easy to find those good receiving cores and a solid quarterback, but always well executed on Tom Sear's coached offense.
Dalen Powell under center. Option play to start the game tonight for the Mustangs. They'll take it to the left side hash marks. They'll move the ball out past midfield, just on the other side of the 50-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up now.
That's all you need. You can get 2 of those, and you get a first down. It's clock eaters as well. You'll see both of those 2 teams do a little bit of that. But time of possession is always something to watch when you're playing Westside, and those good little 5-yarders always help.
Shunderick Powell, brother of Dalen, standing in the backfield right now. 3 wide receivers for Dalen to throw to. There's the option. He'll keep it himself. Bounces to the outside across the 45. All the way out to about the 35. He picked up about 15 yards real quick and in a hurry, Blake.
Yeah, he did, and I tell you what, he missed that 1 tackle in the backfield, and he had plenty of room to run. He is very athletic. If you don't get hands on him the first time, and open field tackles with him are going to be really tough, and that was actually a backfield open tackle there.
So now it looks like they're going to flip the field, same formation for the Mustangs, 1st and 10. Now from the west side 35-yard line. Two receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. And again, Shunderick in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, trying to find a corner at the 35. He's got one. Now out to the 30, still on his feet after a spin. Now to the 20. And a great run on first down by Shunderick Powell.
Very athletic run there. He bounced off a couple of tackles. That play looked dead in the water pretty early on. So he misses 1 tackle there. misses another tackle, and then cuts back inside and picks up a few more yards after contact. Very nice, quick, skill position run there for him.
Back-to-back first down runs for the Mustangs. Talked about airing it out. Haven't really seen them air it out yet, but their spread offense still doing damage to the Warrior defense in the first 2 minutes of this one. Now ball spotted at the 20, so consider it a red zone trip. And now we're going to get a timeout for the Mustangs. They did not, I don't think, get to the line in time before the play clock started ticking down. So an early timeout for the Mustangs. We'll take an early timeout with them. Still scoreless in the first quarter. 10:53 left to play in the first. Mustangs and Warriors here on Tubetown.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
Taking a look at the Hoxie Mustang huddle here on Tubetown. They've got it 1st and 10 from the Westside Warrior 20-yard line. Started off the game with a really nice kick return to give the Mustangs great field position. They have marched it in 3 plays down to the 20-yard line of the Warriors.
Very efficient couple of plays there. Not necessarily bad coverage by Westside, just a lot of broken tackles for Hoxie. Got to finish off the tackles.
Here's a screen play set up to the near sideline. Jumped up and caught by Ethan Blocker. Blocker down inside the 15-yard line. Got close to the 10. He's going to be a yard shy, so it'll be 2nd and 1. Pass was a bit high, as you see on the replay here, but Blocker still goes up to get it. Picks up 9 yards after the catch.
Every play productive so far for them, and that's what they have just marched down the field. And, well, they look quick. They look fast early on. Westside's going to have to react to that. And again, when they make that first contact, finish off the tackles.
This time it's Hayden Riggs standing to the left of Dalen Powell. Riggs going to take the handoff right up the gut. Still on his feet inside the 5, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Hoxie Mustangs. The first drive of the night only took about a minute, 15 seconds off of the clock here in the first quarter. And there you see, that's just a big, strong run from the senior tailback from Hoxie.
Puts his shoulder down twice, just runs over guys and gets in there. Tough run, and when you're in the red zone, that's exactly what you need. Going to have to find a way to make those tackles if you're the Warriors. But, man, that is a powerful run. Tip your hat to that guy. Go back in if you're the defense and regroup and come out and score some points for your offense there.
Extra point up and good. It is 7-0, Hoxie over Westside. 10:38 left to play in the first quarter. A quick break. We're back with more first quarter action here on Tubetown.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
Andy Manus, Blake Gwynn, welcome you back to Hoxie, where the Mustangs have scored after a 5-play, 54-yard drive. It only took a minute 12 off of the clock here in the first quarter. They lead the Westside Warriors 7-0. It was an 11-yard touchdown rush from Hayden Riggs. Extra point was good, and now the Mustangs ready to kick off. Westside will have their first drive of the night. A beautiful sunset here tonight, looking over Crider Field. Still a little warm, though, here in the middle of September.
Is a little toasty, and that will play a factor eventually with these guys. And, boy, if you're Westside, the doctor always orders a touchdown following a touchdown. Big offensive possession for them.
Kickoff taken to the 30-yard line, and a gang tackle effort by the Mustangs. Now the Warriors will come out for their first drive. River Engel back in. As you take a look at the scoreboard, sun setting behind it there. Great job
Good
by our
shot
camera
there.
crew
Who is
there.
that?
Well, that's
that
Richard or
Richard?
Nathan, but good job, one of you guys up there.
Boy, that was a good shot. I like that.
31-yard line, the Warriors come out. 10:32 left to play in the first.
We're in the coach's box here. We're getting heckled. Also affects my color commentary as well. I may be getting threatened. You never know.
Engel turns, hands it to McPherson. McPherson up the middle, and he makes it to the 35-yard line. An easy 5-yard pickup that time by Logan McPherson, and that's what we're used to seeing out of this Westside Warrior offense.
Good to see him back on the field again. He took a nasty hit in the Greene County Tech game, and he is such a big part of their offense. They had great fill-in help while he was gone from guys like Jared Garner, but, man, he just adds so much to their offense when he's on the field, and you see him going right to him first play out.
See if they go back to him here. 2nd and 5 now from the 36-yard line. Under 10 minutes left to play in the first. McPherson in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Hedger. Hedger running to the right side, trying to find the gap between the tackle and the guard, and instead he ran right in to big 68 Jalen Chappell from Hoxie, all 282 of him.
We talk a lot about how good that Westside offensive line is right there. He just busted right through it, made that tackle in the backfield. You do not see that a lot on the Westside offensive side of the ball. Tip your hat there to the Hoxie defense for busting through.
Yeah, that's one point that we often don't really mention too much when we talk about this run game for the Warriors, and they certainly shouldn't be overlooked, and that's the big guys up front. They're the ones paving the way for backs like Tyler Ray and Logan McPherson. Let's see if they keep it on the ground here. 3rd and 5. And somebody moved early, and I'm going to say that it was somebody on the Mustang sideline, or side of the football, I should say. Yeah, I think a Mustang jumped offside, so I don't know if that's going to make it a first down or not after the 5-yard penalty. It's going to be close.
Not
3rd
quite.
and short it's going to be.
Yep, not quite, but they ought to have the play in the book for this one. This is short yardage situation for them, plenty of back options for them to go to, pick up this first down here and keep the ball moving.
3rd and 1. One wide receiver, McPherson in the backfield. They hand it off to the fullback. I think that might have been Tyler Ray on the carry, and it was. Tyler Ray moving the chains for the Warriors. 1st and 10 coming up.
Ray, one of those power guys they tend to go to in short yardage situations, and he does the job they ask him to do right there. Watch him just bust right up the middle and picks up some extra yards past just what he needed. That's a big first down for Westside to keep that football moving.
Well, that's another big thing that we've seen out of him through the first 2 weeks is his ability to keep his legs churning through that contact. So great to have a fullback that can absorb those hits and keep moving forward.
Very strong lower body.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Fake the handoff to Ray, and they hand it off to McPherson. McPherson trying to run between the center and right guard, and it looks like he's going to pick up about a yard, maybe 2. But it's a very short gain. 2nd and long coming up.
Just passed it there again. He couldn't find any room. Wasn't really any gaps opened up for him there. And Hoxie's defense swarms at him again and prevents anything from going on that run play.
Got to wonder how long it'll take the Warriors to go to the air. We know that we saw the last couple weeks they love to set up their air attack with a little bit of ground game. So we'll see if they go to it here on their opening drive. Play action. They're going to go to it right here. Down the sideline, Garner open at the 30, 20. Oh, he dropped the football.
That's a fumble.
That's a fumble. It'll be Hoxie ball inside their own 20-yard line. Garner had nothing but the end zone in front of him, and he lost the ball.
Yeah, you called it. When were they going to go to their pass play? And they did. Perfect delivery here from Riverville Engel. Great catch over his shoulder. Has everything right. Just lost it. Not sure what happened there. Just lost it,
flew
man.
right out of there.
Just lost it.
What a unfortunate break for the Warriors.
I mean, everything was right until that moment right there. And like you said, nothing but end zone in front of him. Well, that one hurts.
So now Hoxie will start on their own 18-yard line. 7:59 left to play here in the first quarter. Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, it's very well executed play up until the very end right there.
Dalen Powell on the keeper here, across the 20, out to the 30. Now he's out to the 40. He has got some speed as he crosses midfield. Drug out of bounds by McPherson. What a run on first down from Dalen Powell.
Powell, great run. I tell you, he is fast. He gets out of the backfield fast. Good play action fake right there. Good read. He gets around the corner. Good tackle here. McPherson almost strips the ball from him. That was a good tackle, catching back up to him and hustling. But, man, that was quick. He is very athletic, and he's got size to him as well. He's hard to get going once he gets his momentum moving forward.
So now to be 1st and 10. Ball spotted on the far side hash mark at the 44-yard line of Westside. 3 wide receivers for Powell. He's going to hand it off this time. It's his brother, Shenderick. Shenderick cuts up between the hash marks, makes it across the 40-yard line all the way down to about the 37. Nice little pickup of about 6 yards.
They've not had a play yet that didn't gain yardage and didn't gain it in a significant way. They are just moving the football at will right here.
Again, Shenderick Powell. Tailback on that last carry. You see him standing on the backfield. Hoxie's got their play. They check their wristbands. 7:15 and counting left to play in the first. Play clock down to 10. Westside bringing pressure from the outside. Powell, his first pass of the game, chunks it towards the end zone. It's up, and it'll fall harmlessly down at the 5-yard line. Kind of just threw that one up for grabs, but he kind of had to. Westside was bringing some pressure here from this near side edge.
Very good coverage there, too, by Kessler Engel. He was all over him. There was no room. Like you said, good pressure on the front end of the defense, and then there was good coverage in the secondary. That's a good defensive play there for Westside.
It'll bring up 2nd and 4. There's the handoff to Shenderick. Shenderick to the near sideline across the 35. Now down the sideline at the 20. Still on his feet. He's into the end zone for another Hoxie Mustang touchdown.
Man, what
unbelievable.
a play.
What a run down this near sideline. What a job to stay on his feet, Blake.
Oh, unbelievable. Watch his broken tackle here. I mean, just ducks his head, pushes him off, and goes. And how did he not go out of bounds? He was up against that's a great run. Good athletic run there by him. And, man, like this Hoxie offense moving the football at will. And at this point, their run game just go ground. But, man, he just slipped underneath the tackle.
Got that right. I think that's a 44-yard touchdown rush by Shenderick Powell.
Wow. Took advantage of a mistake. You know, that's what you want to see. You don't want to end up punting the football after you get a gift like that. And what a way to finish that one off.
Westside looking like they moved a little bit early, but I think they're going to actually get, Hoxie with that one.
Bring that one back.
That was a 4-play, 82-yard drive.
You know, if you're Westside here, you just got to dust that off. It's hard to do. It's not. But you got to look at the things that you've done right. So far, the offense with a great touch-and-go pass play just didn't end the way you wanted to, but you got to find a way to brush that off and just keep going. You can't keep looking in the rearview mirror here because this is something that can spiral out of control in a hurry if you let it. He's got a little bit of a decent kick here now for this extra point.
Yeah, what is that, about 25 yards?
Yep.
Kick is up, and he made it through the uprights. So 14-0 is the score. Hoxie leading over Westside. 6:52 left to play in the first. We'll see if the Warriors can get something started when we come back here on Tubetown. Andy Manus and Blake Gwynn back here with you at Crider Field. The Hoxie Mustangs have just topped out to a 14-0 lead after a 4-play, 82-yard drive. It only took a minute, 7 seconds off of the clock here in the first quarter. It was a 44-yard touchdown rush from Shenderick Powell. Extra point was good. 14-0 is the score. If this feels familiar, well, it's because we've been in this situation before as the kickoff taken inside the 20, now out to about the 40-yard line. You go back to last year's game, Westside and Hoxie in Jonesboro. The Warriors surrendered 2 early touchdowns to the Mustangs. It was 14-0, and then Westside shut the Mustangs out the rest of the game.
That's what you got to do. You can't let that stuff eat you up. You can't hang your head. You can't let that stuff eat you up. You just got to keep moving forward. You can control the game going forward. And, again, they can do that. They're good enough defensively to do that. And this offensive possession will be big in getting some momentum back.
Just shy of the 40-yard line. Ball spotted on the far side hash mark. McPherson in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Tyler Ray, who churns his feet to the 46-yard line. They'll spot him just shy of that on the other side of the 45, but still a nice little 6-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 4 coming up for Westside.
That's the ball game they play. You know, power running football up the middle. Not always explosive plays, but that's the ball game they play, and that does the job. You're one more play away from that, from a first down and picking up a new set of downs.
Well, yeah, anytime you can pick up 3, 4, 5 yards on first down, that's putting your team in a pretty good position on second down consistently. Saw it took 2 guys to take Tyler Ray down there. There's the handoff on second short. McPherson bounces to the outside. He's at the 50. Now down the far side, or excuse me, the near sideline rather. He will run out of bounds just shy of the 45, and I think Blake they're gonna get McPherson here with a little bit of unnecessary roughness. Lowered
his shoulder there when the play was pretty well coming to an end. That was a good example of what Westside will do to you here. And, yeah, there's that. Oh, other way.
Yeah, they called that on Hoxie.
Other way. Were they out of bounds, I guess, that McPherson, lowered his shoulder to protect himself. Good replay here.
Yeah, take another look here at the replay. He'll bounce to the outside, and then a last little.
He was out of bounds. So it was, he was lowering his shoulder to protect himself there.
Yep.
That's big. That ends up being a huge gain, and that's what Westside can do too. You know, they take it with Ray powerful up the middle, then Hoxie sells out back up the middle on defense, and McPherson bounces out to the outside for a big gain, then gets the penalty on top of it. Now you're moving the football.
They've got it 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Under 6 minutes left to play in the first. Again, McPherson not in the backfield this time. It's Tyler Ray. Ray right up the gut. Down to the 20-yard line. That should be enough to move the chains. Just shy, it appears. It'll be 2nd and short coming up.
Always a bonus when those up the gut plays with your power back go for more than 4 or 5 yards. Almost picks up the first down there. Go right back to Ray here. Stuff it right at him and push it right back up the middle and pick up that first down. Then open up your playbook in the red zone.
Right behind Engel, it's Cunningham, Hedger, and Ray, the 3 backs in the backfield. Garner, the 1 wide receiver, but it's Ray that takes the handoff. Cuts his way to the far side hash marks and gets driven backwards inside the 15-yard line. A big-time hit, but Ray gets the job done. Moves the chains inside the red zone for the first time tonight.
Love the play call. Said it right before it. Go right back to Ray. Make them stop you. Run it right back up the gut. They've not stopped him yet. And just keep pushing it right up the gut. And I love that play call there. Go back to him. Now you've got an open playbook here. You can do a lot of things inside the red zone with a fresh set of downs in short yardage territory.
So now 1st and 10. They've got the ball spotted at the 14-yard line. Again, it's Hedger and Ray this time, the 2 backs in the backfield. Garner, the 1 wide receiver on the far side. Again, they hand it off to Ray. Ray makes his way down to the 10-yard line. A nice little 4-yard pickup there. And now it'll be 1st and goal coming up for Westside.
That's what you're looking for, 1st and goal. Again, that power running game has been so effective. They've stuck to what they do well. And again, you've got a full playbook of options here. You can do a lot of different things with your full-strength backs here coming at you.
That was the 3rd first down on this drive here from Westside. 1st and goal coming up. There's the handoff to Ray. Ray running between the left guard and center. He'll stretch out to about the 5-yard line, and Boy, he is a guaranteed 5 yards every time he touches the ball, it seems like.
Got a little flag in late there. Looked really late. They're pointing towards Hoxie. You're exactly right, though. He's a guaranteed 5 yards, and until he stops doing that, you just go to him. Make him stop you, because right now they've proven they can't stop him. Oh, that's going to be half the distance there on that. So, man, and this is Westside. They ought to score every time from this distance with the power in front they've got.
And they're also going to, I was going to say they're going to replay the down, but they're not. So it'll be second. Oh, they are going to replay the down, so it'll be 1st and 5. Okay.
Another personal foul there on Hoxie. They're going to have to clean that up.
A handoff to Ray. Ray will lower his shoulder, go head over heels into the end zone. Brewer there to meet him at the goal line, but Ray will punch it in for 6. The Warriors are on the board.
Man, I love that. Yeah, that is textbook what Westside is about on offense. Power it, run it right at you. They couldn't stop Ray. Just kept going at him, ran it right at the front every single time, and he takes them all the way home. And a perfect finish to that drive, letting Ray finish it off in the end zone. Missed it.
Extra point.
Missed it.
Wide right. So 14-6 is going to be the score after the missed extra point. 4:19 left to play in the first quarter, but the Warriors on the board. They now trail by 8. We're back with more action here from Hoxie right after this on Tubetown.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Andy Manus, Blake Gwynn, back here with you in Hoxie. 4:19 left to play in the first quarter. 14-6 is the score. The Warriors finally getting on the scoreboard. Here in the first, it was a 4-yard touchdown rush from Tyler Ray. 8 plays, 61 yards, just a little over 2 minutes off of the clock here in the first quarter. And now the Warriors ready to kick off.
Man, what a drive by Westside. That's what you wanted. And all of a sudden, everything just looks a lot brighter from where they were at 5 minutes ago. And they did that. They played their game. And that's what you want to see, that you can play your game against this team and score touchdowns. And they're in good shape. Need a big defensive stop here, though, against a tough Hoxie offense.
A line drive kick, a one-handed grab. Hayden Riggs brings it out to the 20 in the middle of the field at the 30 now. Tripped up. Finally, nope, still on his feet, actually. Fighting off bodies over there is Hayden Riggs.
Another flag goes over at that sideline. Hoxie's already had a couple of personal fouls. See what the business is here.
Yeah, personal foul that time on the Warriors.
I don't know. That was a long way away from where we were at, but yeah, you don't want to get caught up in that. Hoxie's got 2 of them. Sometimes those late hits, though, close plays. That guy was battling for yardage. That does happen when you're along the sideline like that. Guy fighting for it, but boy, those 15-yarders are costly. You just ask Hoxie that.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, we're across midfield for Hoxie, and we know their ability to move the football on offense.
Well, both teams each with a pair of penalties now. And Hoxie will start right at midfield at the 50-yard line. First and 10, Dalen Powell once again in the backfield. Standing on his own 45-yard line. He's got Shenderick in the backfield with him. It'll be Dalen keeping it himself right up the middle, driven backwards by the Westside defense.
Good defensive. That's just what you want if you're Westside, and that you show them we can stop the football. We're going to stop the football. Little momentum, little rest for the defense, too. That helps a lot. And they got fresh legs out there. And, again, we need a couple more stops here if you're the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the first 2 drives for Hoxie. I mean, Westside wasn't really out there all that long anyway.
No,
but
that takes a toll even early in the game. It's warm outside.
Quick moving Hoxie offense. Under 3:30 left to play now. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard pickup by Dalen Powell. Now Dalen going to air it out. Gets it out to Blocker. Blocker on the screen. Reverses direction. Going to the other side of the field now.
There we go. If you're Westside, this is exactly what you needed to do. You come out two negative to no yardage plays, and now you're a big 3rd down stop away from completely flipping the momentum back on your side.
Under 3 minutes left to play. Hoxie bringing in a couple of new blockers here. Sam Turner checking in as a tight end, and I think we got a timeout. I think the Mustangs wanted to talk it over. They're going to use their 2nd timeout of the first half. Westside still has all 3 of theirs. 2:57 left to play in the first quarter, 14-6. Hoxie leading Westside. We're back with more Warrior football right after this on Tubetown.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
Beautiful sky tonight here in Hoxie at Kreider Field. Mustangs on top of the Warriors here in the first quarter, 14-6, 2:57 left to play. Mustang football, 3rd and 10. Pitch out to the left, it's Riggs. Riggs avoids one defender in the backfield. Now he's out to the 45-yard line. He'll get out to the 44, but he had to make it down to the 39. So a 4th down play coming up for the Mustangs. The first time we've seen them in this situation tonight.
You'd imagine they'd go for it.
Well, they are going to go for it here.
Big play here.
4th and 4 coming up. 4 wide receivers for Powell. Riggs standing in the backfield to his right. Sends a man in motion. And I believe somebody in black and green jumped a little early.
You don't need that if you're Hoxie.
No.
Really a decent 4th down position there for them, and now they're going to have to punt it. That's a good move.
Yeah, you're no longer on Westside side of the field. You got room to kick it, put some leg underneath it, and try to down Westside pretty deep in their own territory. See if they can do it with 2:14 remaining. It was a fake. It was a fake, and Westside was not fooled. Saw the punter go up in the air and fake it like it went over his head. But either way, a flag comes out.
Could be off Hoxie here. Yep.
It is going to be on Hoxie. So the fake punt does not work, even without the penalty.
Yeah, Hoxie goes for the fake. Those things are always great if they work out. That's one of those things that they're great if they work out, and then they don't make you look so good when they don't. But Westside gets the football with good field position here and a chance at a 2-for-1.
4 plays, -3 yards on that drive. 1st and 10 now for the Warriors. Here's a handoff running to his left. Tyler Ray.
Ray again. Right back to him. I love that.
It's probably the longest first quarter so far this season.
With Westside, that was a long one.
Westside and Greene County Tech certainly went through the first quickly, and as did the Warriors and Piggott last week. Engel ready to take the snap. Ray is in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Hedger. Hedger running to his right. Tripped up, but not before gaining 3, maybe 4 yards.
Well, I'd love to see that play fake. That was an
yep.
excellent play fake right there. I mean, that was perfectly executed. We had a good angle on it right here. But when you're seeing that from the other side of the line, that's impossible to pick up on where that football is. Watch this here. Yeah, good. We got a replay. It's a good job by the guys in the truck. Take a look at that. Take a look at that ball fake. Again, we've got a great camera angle on that. But imagine watching that from the other side. There's no way to know where the football is.
Well, and as many times as they've handed off to Ray tonight, all eyes are already on him. So
exactly.
This time they're going to hand it off to Cunningham. He runs it right up the gut. He's going to pick up enough yardage for a first down. A third down conversion for the Warriors. And now it's 1st and 10 from the Hoxie 35-yard line. Well, you don't know who's coming out of the backfield with that
that's
football.
It. You notice Wheelie right there sold out on the run option. He was behind the whole play. He would have been your best chance for a stop behind the line of scrimmage, but he sold out on the option play there. Good read there, and it gets the yardage that they needed. Again, textbook Westside offense.
This time it's Cunningham in the backfield. Ray is lined up to the right side. Hedger to the left, both standing at the end of the line of scrimmage. There's the handoff to Cunningham. Cunningham right up the gut. Picks up 3, maybe 4 yards on first down. Now 2nd and 6 coming up. And that should bring us here to the end of the first quarter. Game clock is down at 3, and they will let it tick down to 0. So 14-6 is the score. Hoxie leading Westside. 12 minutes in the books. Here at Crider Field, we're coming back with the second quarter of action right here with more Warrior football on Tubetown.
When we talk about You First Banking, what we're really saying is that we're going to take the banking experience and customize it to meet your needs. Maybe you're that person that's always on the go and you don't have time to come to the bank. We'd love to see you, but we can make it possible with our mobile apps to where you don't ever have to set foot in any of our banks. But maybe you're that person that does like coming to see your favorite teller and you like that face-to-face interaction. We've got 20 locations across the state with a friendly staff that's here for you. Only at First National Bank. You first. Always.
Andy Manus, Blake Gwynn, welcome you back to Crider Field. Hoxie and Westside in a non-conference matchup tonight. The Mustangs on top of the Warriors through the first quarter, 14-6. Pair of rushing touchdowns from Hayden Riggs and Shanderick Powell have the Mustangs with an 8-point lead, but late in the last probably 3 minutes of the quarter, actually it's around 5 minutes in the quarter, Tyler Ray would punch in a touchdown from about 4 yards out to put the Warriors on the board. Now Westside has it in Hoxie territory, 2nd and 6 from the 31-yard line. McPherson is back in the backfield for the Warriors. He'll take the handoff running to his left across the 30-yard line. Lost the football. We'll see if Hoxie fell on top of it. They think they did. Hoxie came out of the pile with the football. Still no signal from a referee. Hoxie football. You saw the referees weren't really quite sure how to call that one, and then they finally made the decision. Oh, that was tough to tell if he was on the ground when that ball came out, if the ground forced the fumble or not.
Yeah, that was close. Of course, a lot of leagues you got an instant replay. We have it. They don't. So that's a toughie, man. Another turnover for Westside. Good stop for the Hoxie defense, and they can turn around here and their chance to create some separation.
Got the ball on their own 25-yard line. They'll move it out to the far sideline, and they'll pick up about 7 yards.
Good little pass play there.
Yeah, Ethan Kopp on the reception there.
Again, they're a team, they rely pretty heavily on the run. They do play out of the gun, but they will do that from time to time. They will spread the football out. They will throw the football. And a lot of times they've got some hands that can catch it out there as well. And a good little play there, medium yardage gain, and they're set up well for their next one. Need a little more cowbell.
There's a run up the middle. And another short run. It's the last few times that Hoxie has ran the football. Has not been successful. Not successful on this one either with Riggs. running the football.
They ran it at will their first 2 drives.
They
And
did.
Westside's made the adjustment on defense, and it's completely shut them down on the run game so far.
Yeah, you go back to that first drive, 5 plays, 54 yards. The second one, 4 plays, 82 yards. Having some trouble here on this one. It's an option play once again. Dalen keeping it himself, still on his feet. And this time he's going to be drug backwards around his waist. He does make it out to the 40-yard line before forward progress is stopped. Enough to move the chains. That's a big-time run by Dalen Powell.
A little more what we were seeing their first couple of drives.
Yep.
Powerful run, breaking tackles, and forward progress is stopped right there. So a good run and a first down there for Powell.
Well, he is listed at 6 foot, but he looks like an awful tall 6 foot out there.
He's a high school football player with the speed he's got and his size. That's tough, buddy.
Yep.
I mean, there ain't a lot you can do. He's coming at you unless you're his size too.
Yeah, listed at 6 foot, 185. Looks like he's about 6'2", 200 out there. Handoff goes up the middle to Shanderick Powell. He's going to pick up about a yard, maybe 2. We'll actually say he picked up about half a yard.
Yeah, good defensive play there for Westside. Hardly any gain on that one.
Yep.
And again, looking for one more right here. Should be expecting a run play.
There's a handoff to Shanderick again to the right side. Down the far sideline, across the 50, and pushed out of bounds at about the, wow, they'll say he cleared all the way out to the 45. What a run by Shanderick Powell here.
Speed instead of power that time. Cuts it out around to the right side. Gets up the sideline, and, well, that's what they can do to you. You know, they can bust you inside with power, and they can take it around to the outside with speed.
Under 10 minutes now left to play in the half. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line of Westside. Mustangs making it into enemy territory. They'll come out with 3 wide receivers, and it'll be Shanderick in the backfield. 2 seconds left on the play clock. And they will not get the snap off. They will have to take their final time out of the first half. 14-6 the score. Hoxie leading Westside, 9:43 left to play in the first half. We're back with more action from Crider Field right after this on Tubetown.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Andy Maness, Blake Gwynn back here at Crider Field. 9:43 left to play in the first half. 14-6 is the score. Hoxie leading Westside so far here in the first half.
Westside showing a lot of power on offense the last time out, but now faced with stopping that tough Hoxie offense, and they're rolling a little bit now.
Play action. Facing pressure. Dalen Powell escapes the pocket. Still directing traffic. Now he's going to cut upfield. Boy, how about that? Keeping his eyes downfield even when he's facing pressure like that.
Boy, Dalen Powell is solid. Big pass threat right there. He's just as much of a threat through the air. But watch the poise. Like you said, still looking upfield. Tries to position a receiver and ends up gaining yards out of the entire thing. That is a very good play on a busted play there by that young man.
Yeah, picked up about 3, so it's 2nd and 7 now. Just escaped Caleb Whitmire, who was bearing down on him in the backfield. 3 wide receivers for Powell. He'll send one in motion. It's a pitch out to Shanderick. Shanderick trying to find an edge. He's got one across the 40. Now the 35. Still on his feet, down to the 30-yard line.
Zach Melton almost got to him in the backfield, but was just a little bit behind. Get a flag down?
9:25 left to play in the first. A big-time run. We're going to see if this run is negated, and it is. It's going to be a face mask on the Mustangs. Not very often you see a face mask called on the offense.
Let's see if we can spot it right here. I heard that there it was, right there.
Huh.
Grabbed his face mask on the stiff arm. Yeah. And so they get that. So that one backs it up, and
that should be from the spot,
you'll
right?
take that one there, and that was a little bit of a mental mistake there.
All right, so they'll spot it 5 yards here. It'll be second and short.
Yeah, they call that one incidental, so it's not the personal foul penalty.
Looking to throw. Off the hands of one receiver and right into the hands of River Brewer.
What's a bad piece of luck they ran into right there. That ball was tipped. Pretty decent coverage there, and it ends up in the hands of a Mustang anyway. That could have easily been intercepted, but instead it's picked up by a Mustang. Pretty heads-up play there, too, on the backside.
Yeah, trying to hit Riley Felton, and instead winds up with River Brewer, and it's another fresh set of downs for the Mustangs, nearing the 9-minute mark for the half. Now the ball spotted is on the 30-yard line. 4 wide receivers here. High snap. Brown has to chase it down. Avoids one defender in the backfield. And I don't know how he did not avoid any more damage than what just happened. Backed it up about 5 yards. It'll be second and 15. Just a bad snap. But a great job concentrating to haul it in and then at least, pick up a few yards out of the backfield.
Brady Johnson almost had him. You can see his frustration after the play's over. He gets back to within about 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. That could have been really costly. And the athleticism there of Dalen Powell keeps them rolling.
So now second and about 16 coming up. Looking to throw, Brown. Oh, that one incomplete. Threw it a little bit low, looking for River Brewer on a slant. That was a good pass. He'd have had it. So now 3rd and 15 coming up.
This is what you want if you're Westside. Make sure you don't give up the big play here. Force them into a 4th down situation. You'd prefer a stop at or behind the line here, so that way it really forces them into a 4th and long. Anything's possible when you got that guy right there playing quarterback.
Hoxie comes out with 4 wide receivers. Riggs is in the backfield. Play action to Riggs. Play is blown dead. And we have got a timeout call by Westside. That is their first of the first half, I believe, and that'll stop the clock with 8:49 left to play. Apparently, Coach Ingles saw something out there he did not like, Blake.
Looked like they might have had a couple of guys off sides there, so he might have been trying to avoid that penalty. Good call there. Plenty of timeouts left, and you regroup, and Hoxie showed their hand a little bit, too. They were going to pass the football, which is, 3rd down and long. You expect that, but they did show their hand. So they've got to go back to the drawing board as well. So not a bad timeout there at all, even though you had to call it because of a mistake on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and this is a huge play at 3rd and 15, and, they've got the ball in Westside territory. So you mentioned it earlier. You get a stop here. You force a 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back with plenty of time left here in the first half, and you're going to get the football first to start the second quarter, or third quarter.
Exactly, and Westside should be able to eat up the rest of the half with the way they move it. So, again, big play here. You need a good short yardage stop here if you're the defense.
3rd and 15 from the 35. Dalen looking to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Got a man down the far sideline. Incomplete off of his fingertips. And Hayden Riggs is kicking himself right now for dropping that first down pass.
Boy, his reaction says it all. He was wide open, but there was a lot of footsteps around him. At the high school level, that's a tough play, but, buddy, he can make that catch. He knows he can make that catch. I know he's really frustrated right there because he dropped it. He was open, and you don't see that very often out of a guy like Riggs or a Hoxie team at all. Now they got to regroup on 4th down. It is 4-down territory if you're them.
Yep, they're going to go for it here. You saw as soon as he caught it. Oh, well. They haven't been updating the timeouts on the scoreboard, so it's hard to know how many timeouts each team has got left. Hoxie just took a timeout. So
I thought they were out.
I thought they were out.
I must have
as well.
miscounted. I guess I did.
So now Hoxie will take a timeout with 8:41 left to play here in the first half. We'll keep it right here. They have it 4th and 15. You saw, going back to that last play just a minute ago with Hayden Riggs, you saw him as soon as it hit his hands, he was looking, and he saw Logan McPherson right in his face mask.
Oh, that's tough. And while he was, by your definition, wide open, you're exactly right. Watch McPherson coming from the left. He sees him. He sees that white jersey, and the only thing you're thinking about at that point is, I'm about to get obliterated.
Yep.
And he dropped it. Again, the receiver's job is to catch the football there. But, again, they're high school football players. That is in your mind when you're catching that football, just like a Major League Baseball player catching one near the fence. You know what's coming. You know it's going to be there. It's just a matter of when.
4th and 15, an empty backfield here for Dalen Powell. He's going to run with it. Still on his feet, but a big-time hit by Logan McPherson. And,
don't get a penalty, Logan.
You want to talk about the hit that we were just talking about Riggs trying to avoid. He just demonstrated that on Dalen Powell.
I love this. Hits him.
Right there. Big-time hit.
That was the old Mortal Kombat finish him. It was done. I mean, and then I love the fire out of him. And those are the type of plays that's your team leader, that's one of your team captains. He makes a huge defensive play there. Now you got the football back and in a great position here to get a chance at a 2-for-1. Again, like you said, with the football back after halftime as well.
So the ball is spotted on the 28-yard line for the Warriors. They'll turn. They'll hand it off to McPherson. McPherson across the 35-yard line down to about the 38. And that was a hard-nosed run by McPherson on first down, makes it 2nd and short. And, again, that's what we're used to seeing out of this Westside offense. Big-time runs for McPherson.
Boy, he's fired up right now, too. He great defense on his side of the ball, and then turns right around and makes a big, powerful run. He's just kicked it into another gear here, and that's what your team leaders do for you.
McPherson standing in the backfield once again. It's a power I formation. They'll hand it off to Hedger this time. Tyler Ray, rather. Ray able to pick up a fresh set of downs for the Warriors. Moves it outside the 40-yard line. Take another look. Hand off to the fullback, just right up the gut. And he keeps those legs moving with about 3 black jerseys draped all over him.
Vintage Westside there. That's what they do to you. And they're hard to stop. Hoxie's not small on their front. They've got a good front. But, man, that power coming from the other side with a big back and a big line, that's hard to stop no matter how much size you've got up there.
Here's McPherson running right up the middle across the 50-yard line, bounces to the outside, now across the 40. Still on his feet, knocked out of bounds at about the 32. Huge run by McPherson, and a flag comes out at the very end of that play. Could have a personal foul on the Mustangs.
Boy, if you get a personal foul here, McPherson was pretty fired up at the end of that play. He was fired up at the end of the other one, and they give it to the Mustangs, and I love it. And I'm going to tell you something. You've got a situation here where McPherson's fired up, and he goats them into it just a little bit. Watch it. I love it.
McPherson
That's big. That's a big flip right there.
3 big runs for the Warriors on offense right after laying the lumber on defense. You said it. He's fired up. He's got the Warriors fired up.
You don't see a player take over an entire football game very often because of offense and defense. But so right now, this game, he's in the driver's seat.
Garner, the lone wide receiver. They hand it off to Tyler Ray. Ray moves it inside the 15-yard line down to about the 11.
That's what they do. Ray up the gut, and then you've got the threat of McPherson's speed coming at you from any direction. And, again, they did that last time, and they've started off this drive the exact same way. You can go to Ray here again and try to pick up another 5 yards and a first down, or you can go to McPherson, and man, he's a scoring threat from this range.
6:45 and counting left to play here in the first half. 15 seconds left on the play clock as the Warriors break the huddle. It'll be Ray, Hedger, and McPherson in the backfield. Garner, the one wide receiver. 2nd and 5 from the 12. Pitch out to McPherson, running to his left. Got a block. Makes it inside the 10-yard line. Still on his feet. Lost the football, but I think he was out of bounds when he lost it. That's the second time, though, we've seen McPherson cough that football up.
Yeah, he's going to have to hang on to it. He's having a great game, but fumble right there in your zone is going to be costly. But now he's got them right into their prime scoring territory. You've got a number of options here if you're Westside that you can go right at them and get into the end zone.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Yeah, you've got plenty of scoring options. You got both McPherson and Tyler Ray who can easily score from 5 yards out. Ray has already got one of those to his credit tonight. McPherson in the backfield, Hedger in front of him, Ray in front of him. They turn, they hand it to McPherson. McPherson up the middle, into the end zone for a Westside touchdown. 5:59 left to play in the first half. The Warriors back on the scoreboard now. They trail by just 2. Well, apparently he lost the football at the end of that play.
Yeah, we didn't have a good angle on it, but the touchdown was signaled, and that looked like a done deal well before this fumble. See if we can get any better indication. It's touchdown all day. Yeah, it's touchdown all day. Man, and I'll tell you what, when they get within 5 yards like that, it's almost a done deal with Westside. With their power, they've almost got a done deal. Now they'll get a chance to tie the ball game up here with a conversion. I love it when these count like this.
Turns, hands it. Nope, he's going to keep it himself.
Perfect.
Tosses it out, and
Dropped
it's
it.
incomplete. Threw it behind Brady Johnson, and the Warriors will still trail by 2. 5:57 left to play in the second quarter. 14-12 after the 5-yard touchdown rush from Logan McPherson. We're back with more action on Tubetown right after this.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
A 5-yard touchdown rush from Logan McPherson. Might have fumbled at the end of this play, but the referee said he was already in the end zone, and now the Warriors trail by just 2. They attempted a 2-point conversion, could not get it, but now they are with a field goal away here from taking the lead.
I will tell you one thing. There were 2 pretty close to fumbles there by McPherson at the end of that drive. That ball has got to stay in your hands. He was in the end zone. I don't think there was any question, but, you don't need to leave any doubt on that play right there. You don't have instant replay in high school football. That ball's got to stay in your hands through the end of that play just to avoid any potential confusion that cost you a touchdown there. But, again, Hoxie, Westside inside the 5-yard line, man, they're automatic and almost had the conversion. That's going to be a false start.
Yeah, that'll be a false start. Looked like everybody had their timing cues off on that one. Everybody a little off on that one. I just heard somebody in the crowd say everybody but the center, like the Pittsburgh Steelers the other night. That's exactly what that reminded me of. That was great.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
I showed that to one of my friends. They said, they don't understand football very well. And he said, is that a design play? And I said, no, not quite supposed to do that. I don't think it quite works like that.
Yeah.
Under 6 minutes left to play in the half here.
You do need a pretty decent little kick here. That's
Well,
a good
he
one.
got
That is
one,
a good
too.
kick.
Got one, and now Hoxie going to have to chase that one down. It bounces inside the 5-yard line, put fingers on it. Now they're going to cross to the 10. They won't even make it to the 10. Ethan Blocker there to scoop it up for the Mustangs, and this will be the worst starting field position for Hoxie tonight.
Boy, that was clutch. That's just what you got backed up, and it ended up helping them a little bit. Got right in between them. It bounces, picks it up at the 5, and then the special teams unit just swarms. Doesn't let him get anywhere, and that is huge. At this point in the quarter, that is big. You cannot overstate the importance of that play and how they swarmed on top of him right there, like sharks in the water coming at him. That's big, Andy.
Yeah, should have kept the return men back a little bit deeper. Now the Mustangs in a little bit of trouble, though. Hand it off, though. Derek Powell hurdles his way out to the 50. Now he's in a foot race with McPherson. We know who's going to win this one. Derek Powell all the way to the end zone. A 94-yard touchdown rush.
Well, that kick was big until that happened. And he busts right up the middle. You know Hoxie, capable of the explosive play. Watch him find the hole, but where's everybody else? And there he goes. And his speed, watch the second gear he's got. McPherson almost catches up to him, but, man, huge bust. Explosive speed there by him. Just explosive, man.
That man is fast. That man is fast.
Yeah. Yeah,
ready to.
He got through the hole, and there was just a second gear he had. I mean, it just.
Yeah, we'll
kicked on the afterburners.
We'll certainly have to take another look at that one tonight as they are on to attempt the extra point is River Brewer. It looks like somebody jumped a little bit early here. It's going to go against Westside. They're going to move it forward a yard. We're going to see if they're going to change the play here. They are going to change the play. They got that half yard, so now they're going to go for it.
That's a good decision there. You get that extra yard. You got a short punch in. Plenty of power for Hoxie, too. I like it.
You got three pretty hefty rushing options coming out of the backfield between the two Powells and then Riggs as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good play call. I didn't mind going for two there. You do make it a two-possession game with the kick, but they're pretty tight here.
There
it is.
Dalen Powell on the keeper, and he's going to easily make it into the end zone. So now it is 22-12 with 5:35 left to play here in the first half, courtesy of this 94-yard touchdown sprint from Derek Powell. Hoxie leads 22-12.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet is down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
Happen here at the end of this.
Andy Maness and Blake Gwynn here with you. 5:35 still left to play in the first half. And Blake, you're right. We have had a lot happen here in the last couple of minutes. We had the 5-yard touchdown rush from McPherson after a couple of standout plays by him on defense. Just marched the Warriors right down the field. And Hoxie said, so what? We can do it in one play.
Yeah.
One play, 94 yards, took all of 14 seconds off of the clock here in the second quarter.
We were raving, about the kick, and it was a great play, but then it gets completely negated between a huge run there, and that's how explosive Hoxie can be. You got to give a lot of credit to your skill position guy there and what he did.
All three of their touchdown scoring drives tonight have been under 1 minute, 15 seconds. Here's the return taken out to the 25-yard line. And not going to get much further than that. Garner.
Uh-oh.
Oh, a punch thrown.
Oh, no.
A punch was thrown.
Get them separated.
One of the Warriors just wound up and punched one of the Hoxie players.
Yeah, that's been brewing a little bit. There's been three unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, a lot of jawing coming from Hoxie. Both of those guys really probably should be ejected. But boy, that's nasty, man. You don't want to see that. And that
Spencer Long was I believe, the guilty Westside party. Not sure.
There was a lot of Mustangs around him.
Oh, yeah, he was the only white jersey over there in the sea of black and green.
That's what you get when that happens like that, and you get that. And luckily, the coaches going to be double penalties on that. Yeah, he's going to get ejected for the punch being thrown. There was a punch thrown. I'm going to tell you the good thing about that is, and both coaches are going to be upset, and Westside's going to be upset. He's going to, Coach Ingle's going to protect his guy. But I'm going to tell you the good thing about that. That could have been a lot worse. Coaches got in. They were able to separate the two guys and keep that from being a melee. I've seen those turn nasty, and we're going to have a little bit of a complicated yardage situation here. But, he did throw a punch, and he's going to get ejected.
Yeah, Spencer Long going to have to make his way out. And, Blake, that also means he'll have to miss next week, right?
Yeah, I hate to see that. That never good, but you know what? Football's an emotional game. That does happen. And like I said, the good news is coaches did get them separated pretty quickly. And it didn't turn disastrous, but we need to straighten this back up. That doesn't need to happen again. On either side, that had been coming. That had been brewing.
That might be a first here on Tubetown.
I've not seen one.
This might be a first here on Tubetown.
My days on Football Friday night, we saw parents come onto the field. We saw all kinds of things.
I was going to say, I can remember one time a parent, I think, tried to fight a referee during basketball season.
Harrisburg.
So,
but I've never. I'm not. The players have been pretty well behaved for the most part. Give them a lot of credit. That's the first time we've seen that.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. Here's McPherson out of the backfield across the 35-yard line. He'll bounce out at about the 37, and it'll be 2nd and short coming up after the 8-yard pickup by McPherson.
Plenty of time for Westside here. They can get a little bit of this back, and again, they get the ball after the half, so plenty of time here. Just do your thing. Got to shake off what just happened. Maybe use it to your advantage even, and let's keep it going.
Well, we'll see if they stick with McPherson here. Again, we have not seen them air it out very often. They do have one safety over the top. They do have one defensive back out guarding Garner. They're going to throw it here. Garner, man coverage, intercepted by Ethan Blocker. He's at the 30. Now across the 35 to the 40, the 45, the 50. And he is knocked out of bounds by the Warriors. And it'll be Mustang football. And Ingle just threw that one up for grabs, Blake. He gave his man an opportunity to get to it, but Blocker just boxed him out like a basketball player.
Jared Garner had no idea the football had been thrown. Look, he has no idea the football's in the air until right then.
Yep, yeah. You're right. That's a good call.
Yeah, but he didn't know it had been thrown. He couldn't find it. And if he goes up and fights for that ball, wasn't the best pass by Ingle, but if he goes up and fights for that football,
he could at least play a little defense.
Could have played a little defense on the throw there. But he couldn't find it, and that the receivers got just as much responsibility from stopping an interception as the quarterback a lot of times. So Hoxie chance to capitalize here, man.
Yeah, 1st and 10 rather from the 47. Running to the right side across the 30 and stepping out of bounds is Dalen Powell. Hefty pickup by Dalen Powell. Moves the chains. 1st and 10, Hoxie once again.
It is show-up time for the Westside defense. They need to stop. They've got to have one here. After that, you're just reeling. You got to get a stop before halftime here. Big defensive possession here for a first half type defensive possession. You got to have it to cut some of this bleeding down at this point.
Well, Powell just absolutely introduced himself to Kessler Ingle in a spectacular fashion on that run. 1st and 10, now it's Shenderick Powell getting the handoff. He cuts to the far side across the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Hoxie. 4:45 left to play in the quarter, and Hoxie with back-to-back scores back-to-back runs from Shunderick Powell.
You want to talk about a guy taking back over the game. Now it's Shunderick Powell's turn. McPherson did it earlier. Powell has done it now, and this guy is he's on fire. Nobody can stop him. Breaks a big tackle right there. The guy had him by the legs, and big touchdown there. Hoxie completely capitalizes on the interception, and now they have tons of momentum at this point.
Something in the neighborhood of a 35-yard touchdown run. 2 plays, 47 yards. Extra point is up, and it's good. So 29-12 now the score with 4:43 left to play in the first half. Hoxie leading Westside. You're watching it here on Tubetown. Big-time touchdown run once again for Shunderick Powell. This time from 30 yards out.
I was just telling you.
Too easy.
Before we came back in, that I felt like when Westside got the ball back with about 8 minutes left that they might eat up most of this half, and we've had an entire half of football played here in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Hoxie has scored twice on 3 plays in less than 45 seconds. Twice, 3 plays, less than 45 seconds. They have over 150 yards rushing on those 3 plays. Garner takes this kickoff inside the 10. Now he takes it out to the 20. Now to the 30. Tripped up before the 35-yard line, but a nice little run by Garner to set up the Warriors 1st and 10 in their own territory.
Yeah, your Westside offense, you can do something about it now, You're not going to be able to make it all up in one series. You don't need to try to do too much. But a score here before the half, or even a decent drive down the field, could do a lot, and it could give you something to build upon when you go in the locker room at halftime. And there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Well, if you think about it, Westside, they're down right now because of themselves. They've got 3 turnovers here in this football game.
It has nothing to do with talent.
Outside of those 3 turnovers, they're completely in this football game. 2 fumbles, both of them happened on positive yardage plays, and then the interception a moment ago. Here's a handoff up the middle with Tyler Ray. Ray will pick up about 5 yards on 1st down, and that's exactly what we've seen out of the Warriors tonight. Just pickup after pickup.
Yeah, go right back to him. Make them stop. They haven't stopped him yet.
Lost the football once again, it appears, in the backfield.
Maybe one of them will go their way at this point. It seems like one of them's got to go towards Westside. Yeah, Westside's got it back there. Good. They needed one. Those things ought to fall your way once in a while. But man, they got to get the fumble thing under control. That ball is hitting the ground way too much, and Hoxie capitalizes. They're just feeding on it. I mean,
it's turf out here. It's not like the grass is
not
getting
wet,
the ball
dewy,
wet or anything like that.
Nothing like that. No, you're exactly right.
One wide receiver for Engle. McPherson in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Garner. Garner lost the football.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Garner, with his 2nd fumble of the game, gives it back to the Mustangs. Back-to-back fumbles
now,
for the Warriors.
I will say this, and obviously it's your job as a ball carrier to hold on the football, but this is a good strip by the defender right here.
Yep.
Got in behind him.
Hayden Riggs.
When it comes in behind you like that and you don't see it, again, your job as a ball carrier to hold on to the football, but you got to credit the defense, too, there on a good strip. Good job doing the defenses, but once again, the turnover here, it has absolutely nothing to do with the skill level and the play calling. It has everything to do with turnovers. That's it. That's all there is to it at this point. Hoxie with a chance to do some real damage here. again.
Here's Dalen Powell on the keeper, lowers his shoulder, makes his way right through the line of scrimmage. He'll be stopped just shy of the 35-yard line. I think they'll spot the ball at the 36. I think the Warriors right now are just as stunned as we are.
This is uncharacteristic of them. You do not see them do this type of thing. They are a very well put together team. They always play solid games, and you're right. I mean, I just kind of staggered a little bit here at what we've just seen out of a team we don't see that out of very often.
Under 3 minutes left to play. Second and short now. Powell going to run it again to his right. Makes his way across the 30. Still on his feet. Across the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Mustangs. Dalen Powell with a 36-yard touchdown rush. And the Mustangs are literally running away with this one here in the first half.
The Powell and Powell show continues here. The Powell and Powell show continues here. And I'll tell you something. You want to talk about a team capitalizing on mistakes. Hoxie, not like they're getting those turnovers and then they're punting the football away. They've capitalized on every single one of them. They have made the Warriors pay, and the Powell and Powell show continues.
Second drive where they have scored in 2 plays. 3 consecutive drives. 1 play, 2 plays, 2 plays. Extra point is on, and that will go through. Hoxie now leading this one 36-12 with 2:41 left to play here in the first half. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more Westside Warrior football right after this.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
2:41 left to play in the first half. Hoxie out to a 36-12 lead over the Westside Warriors. All rushing all day. It has been, as Blake mentioned, the brothers Powell doing work against Westside tonight. 3 touchdowns on the ground for Shunderick Powell, and now a 36-yard touchdown rush can be credited to his brother Dalen.
Well, I tell you, you got to get in the locker room if you're Westside. You got to get this thing to the locker room and get this thing back on the rails. You got to get in the locker room here. If you can get a touchdown, that's great, but you got to get in the locker room without Hoxie doing anything else.
And yet another fumble. Ty Johnson letting it hit his hands. They'll stop him at the 16-yard line.
Hoxie plays such a physical game. They're very physical. They always are. That's a Tom Sears team. They're physical, and that physicality. You've seen the fumbles. You saw the tensions boil over. I've seen Hoxie over my years of covering them cause that lots of times. They play very physical, but that has never been the type of thing that got to Westside before. They handle it well. They're a physical team. And they got to get this thing into the locker room. No mistakes here on this possession. Get it into the locker room without another Hoxie touchdown. We'll call it a victory. We'll come back out and see what we can do in the second half at this point. That's what you got to do. Get it in the locker room.
Looks like they've got Tyler Ray in the backfield. Looks like River Engel lined up wide to the right, but they'll hand it off right up the gut. And it'll be Tyler Ray picking up about 4 yards, as he does on first down, so 2nd and 6 coming up. It's a bit hard to stick to that ground game when you're trailing by 3 touchdowns here.
It is. But again, you can come out and air it out in the second half if you need to, but at this point, you got to get in the locker room here. And you watch the physicality on this right there. You saw on that play right there the physicality. Every single time that Hoxie swarms in to make a tackle, they're punching, they're trying to strip the football. It's just so physical.
Yep. Tyler Ray doing a good job navigating through the gaps that he has to run through there. And yep, you called it right there. They're going for that football. And at this point, when they've put it on the ground so many times, they should be.
Keep at it.
Here's another handoff right back to Ray. Ray lowers his shoulder, heads over the pile, and he'll pick up a fresh set of downs for the Warriors with 1:35 to play here in the second quarter.
And he's your guy. He picks up yardage every single time. And again, like I said, it's hard to stick to that, but at this point, you're more or less trying to prevent turnovers. And we can go talk about it in the locker room after it's all said and done with.
Here's the handoff to Ray. Ray picks up another 4-5 yards. 1st and 15 coming up. Well, it looks like he picked up another 4 or 5 yards. They're only going to give him with 2.
This Hoxie team from last year to this year, the development that they've made is unbelievable. This does not look like a team that lost 6 games last year, and I'll tell you, to me, Dylan Russell hobbling off a little bit there. Get it into the locker room. Just get it into the lock. You can figure it out from there, and again, you can see what they're doing. They're not going to do anything overly aggressive, and nor should they. So,
yeah, just trying to get it in where they can talk over some things and
regroup. Forget about it.
They'll come out with the football first in the second half. So they'll fake the handoff this time. Play action. Nope. Ingle going to keep it himself. Got a blocker out ahead of him across the 40, the 45, the 50, and now we're going to have a holding call. The wide receiver out here to block for River Ingle, Kessler Ingle, his brother, gets called for holding out here. So
you're going to get that holding call right there. I didn't see it.
It was. It looked to be a little ticky-tacky.
Was it?
No, wasn't a whole lot there.
I was watching River, but it. Yeah. Get in the locker room. Let's talk about something positive. This is high school football at its finest, though, too, man. I had a good crowd.
Everybody's
solid
into
crowd.
it. Yeah,
everybody's
super
into it. Everybody's into it. Huge crowd on the Hoxie side. Huge crowd on the West side. Been a good crowd. Energetic. Fireworks. I'm just trying to make it positive here. That's what I can do. Let's get it into the locker room. Get it in the locker room, man. Get it in the locker room. That's what we got to do.
There is a pretty good crowd here tonight.
It's a great atmosphere. Great
it's always
atmosphere.
a great atmosphere when you got people lined up along the fence.
Yeah, exactly. It is this big crowd. This is Arkansas high school football at its finest.
Play action, looking to throw. Ingle stands in the pocket, takes a hit, tosses one out, intercepted. That one was ripped out of the hands of Brady Johnson, the intended receiver. And it's going to be Corey Kane on the interception there.
What a play.
He did a great job of hauling that in before it hit the turf, too.
This is an unbelievable play.
Johnson had his fingertips on it, but Kane got his fingertips on it at the exact same time. And River Ingle got hit pretty hard at the end of that play, too.
It was good in 2 different ways. It was good coverage. He came out of nowhere to get it. And then made a great diving grab. Boy, that was a good play. That was a very good defensive play there.
Well, the bad part about that is it gives the ball back to the Mustangs with 40 seconds left on the clock. And I know you say to yourself that may not be a lot of time. Well, if you just tuning in, you missed 3 touchdowns that were scored pretty quickly. Didn't need 40 seconds to find the end zone.
Hoxie can score in seconds. There's a flag in the backfield here. That was probably coming back.
That is going to go against the Mustangs, a holding penalty. 7 seconds off the clock with that first play, so there's 33 left in the half. That's about enough time to find one of the edges if you're one of the Powell brothers.
At this point, we've seen either one of them. It only takes them however long it takes them to snap the football and take off running, 7 seconds. So,
3 wide receivers for Dalen Powell. Riggs is in the backfield. He'll take the handoff. Riggs running to his right now. Still on his feet across the 50, the 45, 40. Cuts back to the middle of the field. Wow. Still on his feet. Taken down just before the 25-yard line. 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. And there you see it, the power of the Mustangs. And Hayden Riggs, what an amazing job, not once but twice, to stay up and in bounds.
Oh, great run by him. Finds the hole and then does the rest, really. Dodges tackles, finds the room. There's one missed.
And then cuts back right there to stay in bounds.
There's a broken one there. There's a good spin move. Makes up for that drop pass earlier. Man, he's a good skill position guy. I hadn't seen a lot of him tonight. It's been all about the pals, but that's the kind of stuff he's capable of.
2 wide receivers, give that 3 wide receivers. Powell with a great move in the backfield across the 20 down to the 15-yard line. Dalen Powell moves it into the red zone with 11 seconds left to play here in the first half. Hoxie may have to clock it here, though. They might be out of timeouts. That's what it appears they're going to do.
Yeah, no timeouts left for them. There's the spike. And they're explosive. They are so explosive.
8 seconds remaining here. Take a look at this run by Powell. What a move right there to avoid Brady Johnson in the backfield. Just completely olayed him like a bullfighter.
It's been fun to watch these guys. I'll tell you, it has been fun to watch these skill position guys. Roxy, the Powells, Riggs, go at it here. And you know, we've talked, we've sat here, we've dwelled, and rightfully so, on the negatives of Westside. Big play here.
Yep, had to clock it again. I think they had a penalty, so they had to move that last one back.
Yeah, and then the clock restarted.
So now 5 seconds remaining. Well, you got a field goal kicker who's made every extra point tonight.
You know, he seemed to have the leg earlier. I think he probably has the leg, but as explosive as they are, I'd go for the end zone. You're up big here. Go for it. They've got the skill position guys at this point, and you could go for the complete full-on gut punch here, and that's what they're going to do.
We're going to try to put the nail in the coffin here in the first half. 5 seconds remaining for Powell. Steps up in the pocket. Facing pressure. Takes a shot to the end zone. Jumping, leaping, catching. Touchdown. Hoxie Mustangs. Ethan Blocker brings it in for another 6 points.
Well, these guys, I'm going to tell you, at this point, this Hoxie football team playing like this is going to win a lot of football games. And he was in trouble the entire time.
And just stayed composed the entire time.
Finds a wide open dude, and a great catch there on the other end for Ethan Blocker.
That one was from the 20-yard line. So a 20-yard pitch and catch.
I was saying before, we've dwelled a lot on some of the negatives of Westside, and rightfully so. There's been a lot of negative for them, but how about Hoxie, man? I mean, how about what they've been able to do? That's no good, but they've been able to, every single time that they had the opportunity to capitalize on a mistake, they did, and took every bit of that last 8 minutes and made it into something special.
An unbelievable first half for the Hoxie Mustangs, 42-12. Over the Westside Warriors. We're going to take a quick break. Taking a look at Dalen Powell. All smiles as they're headed to the locker room. Again, 42-12 the score. Back with your halftime show right after this on Tubetown.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
When we talk about You First Banking, what we're really saying is that we're going to take the banking experience and customize it to meet your needs. Maybe you're that person that's always on the go and you don't have time to come to the bank. We'd love to see you, but we can make it possible with our mobile apps to where you don't ever have to set foot in any of our banks. But maybe you're that person that does like coming to see your favorite teller and you like that face-to-face interaction. We've got 20 locations across the state with a friendly staff that's here for you. Only at First National Bank. You first. Always.
Westside Warrior Football on Tubetown is brought to you by Denver's Refrigeration, First National Bank, Ace Sign Company, and Max Garage.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Halftime here at Crider Field. Hoxie leading the Westside Warriors 42-12 after the first 2 quarters. Andy Maness and Blake Gwynn here with you. And if you're at home watching, you're probably just as shocked as we are. We certainly knew that Hoxie's a good football team, but certainly we're not expecting the score to be 42-12 at the halftime break. Certainly expected it to be a little bit closer than this coming into tonight's ball game, Blake.
You know, it would be doing Hoxie a disservice for us to completely dwell on the mistakes of Westside, but you got to talk about them. There's no way Hoxie should have had the scoring opportunities that they had in the last 8 minutes of that half. You know, really, like I said, I thought with 8 minutes left, Westside had the chance to possibly run the clock down to a point that it was almost over. Instead, they scored quickly, and that's where it all really started going downhill. A good kickoff after a penalty, and then the Powell brothers just went to town from there.
Yeah, 5 turnovers for the Westside Warriors in that first half. Something, you know, you want to go at 2-3 games without having 5 turnovers, and you got 5 of them in the first half. So you mentioned it towards the end of that second quarter, just got to get in the locker room. Well, they did not do that. They turned the ball over one more time with 40 seconds remaining in the half, and we found out really quick if you give the Mustangs any more than 30 seconds, then they're going to use that to their benefit.
So explosive.
Yeah, you go back to the last 4 drives for Hoxie to end the first half. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns, a total of 10 plays, 256 total yards. They only had the ball for 2 minutes and 4 seconds during those last 4 drives.
And that says it. And it was fumbles. It was fumbles and turnovers. And there's not a lot you can say about it. Hoxie plays a physical game. A lot of credit to the defense. But you got to hang on to the football. And I'll tell you, there were a couple of plays before that could have been potential turnovers where the ball was put on the ground. And that doesn't count the one they got back there at the end. And I'm going to tell you that they've got to get it under control. Again, this game, it's going to be hard to come back if you're going to do that. But I will tell you, you got to go in, you got to regroup. And you got to rebuild. But, man, Hoxie's so explosive on offense, so physical on defense, and they've made Westside pay every single time tonight.
We'll talk a little bit more about this game. 42-12 is the score at halftime. We're going to take another quick break. We'll come back and get you ready for the second half between the Warriors and the Mustangs. Back after this on Tubetown.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
When we talk about You First Banking, what we're really saying is that we're going to take the banking experience and customize it to meet your needs. Maybe you're that person that's always on the go and you don't have time to come to the bank. We'd love to see you, but we can make it possible with our mobile apps to where you don't ever have to set foot in any of our banks. But maybe you're that person that does like coming to see your favorite teller and you like that face-to-face interaction. We've got 20 locations across the state with a friendly staff that's here for you. Only at First National Bank. You first. Always.
Westside Warrior Football on Tubetown is brought to you by Denver's Refrigeration, First National Bank, Ace Sign Company, and Max Garage.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
If you're looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Max Garage for your vehicles. Locally owned with over 20 years of experience, at Max Garage, we pride ourselves on being professional, reliable, and affordable. From routine maintenance to complex mechanical issues, Max Garage can do it all. Max Garage is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Call Max Garage for your next auto repair.
Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team. Becoming a member of the Westside Athletic Booster Club is a rewarding and valuable contribution to the Warrior Nation, our school, and most importantly, our student athletes. The purpose of the club is to promote athletics at Westside High School in an atmosphere that is consistent with the educational philosophy of the school community. Check out our Facebook page for more information on how to become a member. Westside Athletic Booster Club. We're the team behind the team.
When we talk about You First Banking, what we're really saying is that we're going to take the banking experience and customize it to meet your needs. Maybe you're that person that's always on the go and you don't have time to come to the bank. We'd love to see you, but we can make it possible with our mobile apps to where you don't ever have to set foot in any of our banks. But maybe you're that person that does like coming to see your favorite teller and you like that face-to-face interaction. We've got 20 locations across the state with a friendly staff that's here for you. Only at First National Bank. You first. Always.
Westside Warrior Football on Tubetown is brought to you by Denver's Refrigeration, First National Bank, Ace Sign Company, and Max Garage.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Tubetown is now available on the Amazon Fire TV and Fire Stick. Watch live events from Tubetown on your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick. Head over to the App Store and search for Tubetown. Once your app is installed, you can watch every live event from Tubetown. Miss our live coverage? Our past events are available on demand. Download the Tubetown app to your Amazon Fire TV or Fire Stick today. Tubetown, live, local, from Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
We welcome you back to Crider Field here on the campus of Hoxie High School. The Hoxie Mustangs out to a big-time lead over the Westside Warriors as we get set to start the third quarter. Andy Manus, Blake Gwynn here with you. 42-12, the Mustangs lead the Warriors. Blake, what a flurry of offense from the Hoxie Mustangs to end that second quarter. We talked about it briefly, 4 touchdowns on 4 drives.
Hoxie has a lot of ways to score. They do, and I tell you, if you're a Westside fan and you're tuning in right now, you haven't seen any of this first half, your mind's probably blown, and I'll tell you, our mind's blown right along with you. You haven't seen that very often out of Westside, and this second half will be a character builder for you as well as going forward. But, man, Hoxie, buddy, you can't give them an opening. They'll take a mile, and they did that.
Yeah, it was 14-12 back in the second quarter, and then it was a 28-point outburst that went unanswered from the Hoxie Mustangs. It was 14-12, and then it was immediately not 14-12 because you had the 94-yard touchdown rush from Shaderick Powell. That was just an unbelievable run. 94 yards, hurdled a man at the line of scrimmage, and then just hit the afterburners.
Yep, and that got it all started, really set a tone kind of for that point forward. And I was actually to the point in that half that I was thinking about how good of a second half is this about to be. And then all of a sudden, like you said, Powell turns on the afterburners and off we go.
All right, we are ready to start the third quarter. There's the kick taken inside the 20-yard line. All the way out to the 35-yard line. And that is going to be Dylan Russell on the return.
And, visiting with some Westside at halftime, they're planning on resting McPherson in this half. The point being, this is a non-conference game. He's been banged up anyway, and we're probably going to see some of their second-team guys in here, and one of them just got banged up.
Yeah, you see one of their starters right there, Jared Garner, coming out holding his head there, so hopefully he's going to be all right. But as Blake mentioned, just going to try to get out of here without any injuries tonight, as Hoxie has kind of, man, they have already blown this one wide open. They did so back in that second quarter. One wide receiver, it's Kessler Engel, River Engel under center. I always get the Engel brothers mixed up. I formation. And stopped at the line of scrimmage. The option keeper there, or actually the handoff to Tyler Ray. It's hard to see all those bodies in there.
Yeah, you mentioned this. This is a character builder here for Westside. The game's not going to kill you when it comes down to it. It's a non-conference game. You have an off week next week, and so you got to try to get something out of this second half. You're probably not going to come back and win this football game, but you got to get something out of it here, and they can get some guys some reps. There's a holding penalty out there in the backfield, and try to learn something. And for Hoxie, you've learned a lot about your team.
Yeah, holding penalty,
There's
as Blake
one.
mentioned.
I think there was a second one later.
Yeah, Zach Melton, the tailback there for the Warriors. So that'll back it up to the 30-yard line there.
Well, you just do not see this very often out of West. I mean, how many times you've called a lot of their football games, Andy? You've been in a situation like this with them to where you really, the air's out of the building, and the mistakes that we've seen. It's uncharacteristic, and you've got to know that if you're them. That we learned a lesson tonight. We got hit in the mouth, and you can respond. But, boy, we have not seen this very often out of there. There's face mask right there.
There's a big-time penalty. Zach Melton again on the handoff, a little triple option there for Engel. So they'll get those yards back. We'll replay second down once again.
If you're, you're Hoxie, I mean, where do you go from that half? I mentioned to you at halftime, I said, what do you say to them? Stop letting Ray run up the gut. I mean, what do you say? And
because you don't want to just go out there. You don't want to have nothing to criticize your guys on. You got to have something.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not going to go in there and throw the helmet or anything. You're Tom Sears.
Well, and if they can hold on and come away with a win here tonight, this will be a good bye week coming up here for the Mustangs. They have an open week next week, as taking this up the gut. It's going to be Landon Whitlow. Wait, check that. It's going to be Michael Ivy. Sorry, I had an old roster there.
Yeah, and you'll notice you haven't seen Ray yet. You will not see McPherson. We confirm that. He will not play, and that's a good call with him being banged up and the action he gets. So you do get that. And these things can be, when it's all said and done with, for a team, a good thing. It opens your eyes. It gives you a ton of things to work on. It tests your character. What kind of team are you? If you're going to do anything when it comes to conference play in the playoffs, you're gonna have some games like this, and how do you respond to them? Good run play there.
Yeah, I think that was Rashard Cunningham on the carry. He's going to pick up about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 coming up. Sticking to the run, just trying to milk the clock a little further.
Again, we were talking about getting into halftime. I think they're trying to get in the bus.
Trying to get out of here now,
Trying to get in the bus.
They've got a long half of football ahead of us, though. If it's even anything like the last 5 minutes of that second quarter.
Well, and Hoxie's shown, and again, you're going to have a couple of your better defenders, McPherson, out for Westside in this second half, and if it's anything like that first half, like you said, they'll score once every 15 seconds.
Here's again Cunningham on the carry, picks up about 2, and it'll be fun to watch Cunningham develop a little bit too, because he is just a junior. He's about the same size as McPherson, though, it looks like, coming out of the backfield.
Well, and if you can run against this Hoxie team, and if you can be on the field with this caliber of a team, these experiences are invaluable for guys like that, because McPherson, Ray get a majority of the snaps, and to get him some snaps in here is very valuable. And they're moving the football well.
3rd and short. There's a handoff, bouncing to the outside. It's going to be Zach Melton, but Melton looked like he was initially going to get it, and then he started running backwards. Got pushed backwards.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. He made first contact there and thought he might be able to bounce around to the outside, but you don't ever want to go that way.
Yep.
Right there. That was the mistake. You don't ever want to angle your shoulders anywhere near the other goal line. They should always be at least parallel to the sideline and angled towards your goal line, and he went backwards there.
So now a 4th and 4 situation coming up for the Warriors. Under 7:40 left to play here in the third quarter. They have already eaten about 5 minutes off of this clock here in the third quarter. Cunningham takes the handoff, tripped up in the backfield, but still on his feet, leaning forward. It's going to be close, but I don't think he got it. I think he is about a yard shy, Blake.
Yep. He is shy. That's a turnover. Moved the ball pretty well there, though.
They
did not. It came to a stall there at the tail end, but they did move the football pretty well. And again, that experience with some of these guys that aren't getting as many snaps and as many carries, assuming you don't throw the game film in the fire when it's all said and done with, getting those guys some chance on film to be able to talk through that and to look through those plays. Good valuable reps there. And again, moving the football, and now you got Hoxie coming the other way. And if they come out anyway the way they ended that half, we're in for a treat.
There's a handoff. Nope, it's going to be a keeper for Dalen. Dalen up the middle, stretches out to midfield right at the Hoxie logo, and he is going to pick up a good 5, maybe even 6 yards. We'll call it 5. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Mustangs.
Looked like a good little QB read there.
Yep.
Made a good read, picked up 5 yards.
And I've been paying attention to that tonight. He is pretty good at deciding whether or not to hold on to it or whether to give it away, and he's doing a good job. If he decides to keep it, watch him yank it out of the tailback's breadbasket.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. He's been doing that since they were kids.
This time he'll hand it off to Shenderick. Shenderick driven backwards by the Westside defense, so it'll be 3rd and about 5 coming up.
Good job by the Westside defense there to get that stop.
Yep. This will be good for Westside to have next week open as well, so not only having to regroup when they leave here tonight, but they have another week to do so before they face Highland.
Yeah, you don't have to go instantly into game week. You can watch this film, you can dissect it, you can have a lot of talks about a lot of things, and you can regroup and get some guys healthy as well, some guys that are banged up.
Here's Dalen on the keeper across the 50 down to the 45-yard line. And he's going to pick up another first down for the Hoxie Mustangs.
See, he kind of hits you, you might tackle him, but he hits you, not the other way around.
Exactly right about that.
He initiates first contact, and there's a few football players out there that are like that. Well, just watch what we're talking about here. He gets so much momentum going. He's big. He's an athletic guy, and, he hit the defender, not the other way around. He just happened to fall down at the end of it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 42-yard line. There's a handoff to Shenderick. He bounces off of one defender but can't move past the second. He will pick up about 2 yards. But again, he runs into that defensive line of Westside.
They are good. I mean, Westside's got this is a good football team.
It is.
And down, we don't need to make the mistake of letting one game define this team. We've watched them. This is a good football team. They're going to be okay. I'm going to tell you something, though. This Hoxie football team, they're going to win a lot of football games this year. Still got those cowbells going, though.
There's a handoff to Shenderick. He avoids two defenders in the backfield. Still on his feet. Managed to get away from, looks like a couple of Westside defenders who had a hand on him. He is elusive.
Well, third and short opportunity here for them. They got a lot of weapons in their arsenal, similar to the Warriors. That they can find a lot of ways to push it here, and pretty good little spot there. It's still got a little distance to go. It's a 3rd down and 2 over the PA, but
that looks like a long 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 4.
That's what it looks like to me. Shenderick Powell will stay in the backfield next to Dalen. Westside bringing pressure. Dalen pitches it out. Shenderick's got it. Avoids one defender across the 35. Lowers his shoulder to the 30. He's going to pick up the first down once again, Blake. Just continuing to just move the football with this ground attack. Westside doesn't have an answer for it.
Well, it just wears you out. I mean, they're running you all over the field. They're really not running it up the gut. They're running it outside, and that just wears you out. Right, left, right, left, right, left. And then getting hit by a guy that's that athletic and that built. You mentioned he says 6 foot on the roster, and, man, he looks –
That was a tall 6 foot.
Yeah, they're doing him a little bit.
He's
of a
awful
disservice
lanky
there.
out there.
He's big, and he's built too.
There's the handoff to Riggs. Riggs runs it up the middle that time. Going back to that last play, that pitch out on 3rd down, Westside had guys in the backfield containing Dalen Powell. They had guys right on him, but he made a good pitch, had 2 guys on Shenderick, and then Shenderick just makes a really good move in open space and is able to get free.
You hear a word describe a quarterback's line as poised, and that's a good word for it. That's the reason it's used so much is he's poised back there. He really keeps his head on his shoulders. If it's a pass play, he continues looking up the field while he scrambles, and in that case, made a good pitch with pressure. That's a next-level type of play for a high school football player.
Yeah, you go back to that touchdown he had in the corner of the end zone. He stood in the pocket, delivered a strike. Here he is running one right up the gut on 2nd and 8. And once again, the Mustangs have found the end zone. No flags.
That's a read. I mean, he read that. And, what better person to teach a quarterback to play than Tom Sears? But, I mean, that is just a headsy play, finds the gap, and all the way. And once again, that's what they were doing in the end of the half. Hey, this is a good football team. They are going to win a lot of football games. I'm telling you. You're going to look back. This is one of these games for Westside. You're going to look back and watch the season Hoxie has and goes, maybe that wasn't as bad as we thought after all, because they're just scoring at will.
Kick is up, and it's good, and it is now 49-12 with 3:58 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more action here from Hoxie right after this on Tubetown.
Denver's Refrigeration is a proud supporter of the Westside Warriors. Just like the Westside School District strives for excellence by engaging learners, empowering minds, and educating all, Denver's Refrigeration strives for excellence by providing you with knowledgeable staff, quality workmanship, and speedy service. At Denver's Refrigeration, we believe it's a great time to be a Westside Warrior. Denver's Refrigeration, 3501 East Parker Road in Jonesboro.
Andy Manus and Blake Gwynn back here with you at Kreider Field, where the Hoxie Mustangs have just scored once again, this time an 8-play, 56-yard drive, capped off by a 28-yard run from Dalen Powell. And now they will come to kickoff to the Westside Warriors with 3:58 remaining.
Got a little space odyssey going over the speakers, and that's kind of what I feel like. I feel like we're in the twilight zone here. Hoxie's played so well, but Westside has just struggled so much. And at this point, like I said, they're to a point that they're trying not to get anybody hurt. So you can throw the second half out the window. But Hoxie came right back out and just did their thing.
Kickoff taken. Now out to the 25-yard line. Stutter step up to the 30. And turbo clock is in effect.
So we're rolling now.
We are rolling. 3:45 and counting. Clock will not stop unless there is a timeout on the field.
So you've got, again, you got Westside just trying to get out of here. But you got to look, again, what can we learn from this game? We know Hoxie. We knew they were good coming in. But man, they have really shown their stuff, flexed their muscles tonight. And now if you're Westside, again, get out here. Try to not get anybody hurt. And you do have those bye weeks. Both teams have the bye weeks. Yeah, both
teams have a bye week. But, it's a good thing that they both have bye weeks because both teams have very tough opponents as far as the conference goes. Hoxie will face off against Osceola. And then Westside, of course, will face off against Highland. There's a handoff to Melton. Melton drugged down in the backfield.
Yeah, and they're going to need every bit of that preparation. Highland back to the wing tee. And then you've got, like you said, you've got Hoxie with Osceola. And those are the games. That's where it counts. So you're ready to roll at that point. And those, you got to let this game go. You got to learn from it. But in the end of the day, that's where it starts counting at that point. And that's where Westside's going to need to be turning the page from this. You need to talk about it, and then you need to let it go.
Yep. Yeah, you mentioned throwing the game tape in the fire. I was going to say, I think they're probably going to review that 2 or 3 times before we go throwing it in the fire.
I would not want to be there.
No.
For that.
No. Not even a fly on the wall as Rashard Cunningham takes it out just shy of the 40-yard line. Not quite enough to get the first down. It'll be 3rd and short. Westside just letting the play clock tick down as well.
That's what they're doing, and at this point, that's what you do, and it's not fun for us to broadcast, but that's the reality. And again, these are the things that define you. Coach said right before he walked out of here to go down to the sidelines, he said, "You know what? We needed this a little bit," and that's what I like to hear. There was not a sense of the end of the world sense. It was just, you know what, this stinks. It does, but we might have needed this one a little bit. Normally when these come along, you needed it by the time these come along for you.
Well, and you think about it like he mentioned, it's not the end of the world. This is a non-conference matchup. This is when you want to have those types of aha
you want
moments.
to have it in 2 weeks at Highland, against Highland. You don't want that.
Well, I mean, you just go back to last year. Westside rolled off a 7-game winning streak until the final 2 games of the year against conference opponents. And just losing those last 2 games was enough to knock them out of first place. So there's a nice little pitch back to Cunningham.
Hit in the mouth there.
Yeah, he sure did. He ran right into a wall of black and green.
I think you go back to where Hoxie plays so physical. The game was chippy early on. We have the scuffle, and we have the player ejected. That, to me, is a turning point.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the game that Hoxie plays. They're pesky, they're chippy, and when they get you to bite on it, they've won. They've won that. That's what they're trying to do. They don't respond to it in the way you're going to respond to it. And but man, you give a lot of credit to this Hoxie team. You flip the script. We've talked so much about Westside and what they need to do. You talk about Hoxie and making a statement here against a Westside team that's been solid, steady, consistent, and they just come out like it's, and they get given opportunities. But, the defense creates those too, and they come out and they make the most of them with a huge explosion. And again, there we go. We go into the 4th quarter with the clock running.
49-12 is the score. Hoxie leading Westside. We're back with the 4th quarter of action and turbo clock mode when we come back here on Tubetown.
So the best thing about You First Banking is that you don't have to change your lifestyle to meet our needs. We change what we have to meet your needs. Whether you're the mom who's busy taking care of kids all day and you really just don't have time to stop in the bank, we have products like our mobile banking app to make things a lot easier for you so you can get things done when you're on the run. Or if what you're looking for is that face-to-face interaction, we have 20 locations across the state with someone there to help. At First National Bank, you first, always.
That says it all.
Yeah, not quite the surrender Cobra, but a little bit of a surrender ponderance.
We had to demo the surrender
on.
Cobra, Andy. We were talking about the surrender Cobra, and you said surrender Cobra. We had to demo it for you, but I thought Westside might give you one.
No, not seeing any Cobras out in the crowd.
That said it all. We saw the same expression from the Westside coaching staff before halftime, and that's what somebody said. What happened? You know what happened? And you'll have time to figure that out. And but boy, this has not been a lot of fun if you're a Westside fan. Hoxie having all the fun tonight.
Little option handoff that time to Zach Melton, running to the right. He'll pick up about 7 yards. 4th and short coming up. We'll see if Westside wants to go for it here. Again, clock will continue to run here in the 4th quarter with turbo clock.
You got to be real careful, though, if you're Hoxie not to ride too high and if you're Westside not to ride too low. So many times you see these games, you walk away from these games and you say, you get this end of the world feeling like, man, this was bad. And it's not good. But it's never as good or as bad as you think it is. And in 2 weeks, by the time you play your first conference opponent, that's going to be so far in the past that feeling's gone. It's funny how that works. And you just got to be careful not to let it destroy you from the inside, because it can do that. And Bobby Ingles coached long enough. He's a great coach. I talk so much about his demeanor. He's the type. He's not going to let it get away from him. He's going to have a good message for his team. And there's no doubt, again, that bye week helping. This thing will be in the rearview mirror before they know it.
They are able to convert on 4th down here on the ground, so they'll move it out and get a fresh set of downs now into Hoxie territory. May not get out of here before finding the end zone one more time tonight. That would be great for some of these younger players.
You get that done. You know, you get somebody a touchdown that doesn't get a lot of snaps and a lot of time on the field. And again, you're building for your future here. These guys need time on the field, time in a varsity game against a good team like Hoxie. And they're getting it there and are moving the football. You know, they're not letting this thing, you know, they're not getting shown up by any stretch of the imagination, showing that they can be out here.
Yep.
And you may have a guy or two earn a job out of this deal before it's all said and done with.
Yeah, again, we're getting a good look at some of these younger players for Westside right now. 2nd and 10 coming up.
We've literally gone to the point, though. We've got a Hoxie lineman, number 58. He is literally dancing to the band at this point. Westside's band. If that lets you know to the point we have arrived, he's swaying his head to the beat at this point.
I think we just had a offsides on Hoxie.
Why?
Give them 5 extra yards there.
Yeah, Keaton Stroud enjoying himself. Why not?
Yeah, 49-12 on your 3rd consecutive 4A opponent. They've put up 40 points on
exactly.
3 4A opponents in a row.
And I'll tell you, Hoxie's never seemed like a 3A conference team to me.
No.
They always have big numbers. And they always run that spread offense, which is not indicative of your smaller schools, but that's coaching, man. I'm telling you something. And I remember talking to Tom Sears here. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago when his son graduated, and mentioned to him, you know, did you ever think about moving on at that point? You know, your kid's gone. You could have a lot of people would take Tom Sears as their head coach. He goes, man, I've got a program here.
Yeah.
And I love it here. We got great fan support. We got a great community, and we've got numbers and a lot of good kids that are ready to play football for us. And I give him a lot of credit for
absolutely.
not falling into that trap. He's a Hoxie guy through and through when it comes down to it, and I love what he's done here with this program.
Well, I mean, he's been here for 15, 16 years. I mean, he's won over 130 games as a head coach here at Hoxie. I'd say that he has a program built here for sure. Here's a run right up the gut from Westside. That's Michael Ivey.
I mean, look around our area. And you got a few that, you know, your Randy Coleman's, but there's not many that have been at a school this long and had the sustained success
You're right.
that he's had year in and year out. And certainly when you get below let's say a 5A, that sustain a program at a school the size of Hoxie, it's just unheard of. You look at the success Westside sustained since Bobby Ingles been here. That's unheard of. But Sears has doubled that.
Well, and you think about it. You think about having success at a small program. As a coach, you're going to be looking to move on after that. You have three or four good years at a 3A school. Why not try to move up to a 4 or 5?
It's what I asked him. I asked Tom Sears.
Why not move on?
5-6 years ago. I said, your son. You saw your son through. Is there any chance? And he goes, man, why would I do that? And I thought I don't know, but most of them do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That 5A, 6A job starts calling your name, but he said, I got numbers, I've got fan support, I've got guys that are willing to go to work for me, and I love that. These kids deserve that. These kids that come out for football, and he's built this program, they deserve to have a guy like him on the sideline, just like the Warriors deserve to have a guy like Bobby Engel, and he was a long time coming for this program too.
Here's a keeper out to the 10-yard line, and that's Dylan Russell on the carry there.
I think you look at a guy like Bobby Engel, it had never really been done at Westside. And to me, he took a program that was a complete disaster.
Yeah,
it was a disaster. I mean, for lack of a better word, it was a complete disaster. Changed the rhetoric. So much of it is just the way you walk around and you talk about it. You get the staff involved. The staff like you. You get the support of different athletes. That's what Bobby Engel did at Westside, and it's unheard of. Take that Tom Sears and double it, he's done that. And I just – I wish this game was closer because it's two great teams and two great young programs that have really built something special at a little bit of smaller school level. Again, below that 5A, it's harder to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially you think about Westside. We talk about how they're kind of a program on the rise. I mean, that's a heavy chip to get off of your shoulders after so many years.
Yeah, I mean, because again, they had some average teams. But when Bobby Engel found it was a mess, and the numbers were low, and he was able to change that. I'll never forget the first time I talked to him on the phone when he got there, and he goes, "We're gonna figure this thing out. We're gonna get a positive energy built around this program." And I thought, you know what, you may just be the guy to do it, and it was great. Couldn't have predicted that, but maybe a touchdown.
Yeah, Dylan Russell dropping back to pass, just leading Zach Melton a little bit too far. And that will give the ball back to the Hoxie Mustangs. So you talked about it before, moving the ball, getting a little bit of experience for some of these younger players. Can't quite find the end zone, but, got to try to take any positives you can at this point.
They did move it, and they're not getting just blown away. And they did move the football. And, again, getting some things on film that they can sit there with their coach. Coach can say, all right, this is what you do. And that stuff is so valuable because you'll never forget that. You'll never forget the time the coach gives you that coaching off of the film. That's that stuff's invaluable. You can't get that on the practice field or in the junior varsity game.
So now fresh face into the game for Hoxie. It'll be Cade Forrester, sophomore quarterback, handing it off.
Hoxie get a little bit of chance to get some of their guys in there too. This is a good night for them. Big win. Keep your guys from getting banged up.
Taking a look at some of these guys, checking out maybe some of the plays over here.
I forget they don't always have to wait, to go over the playbook and everything. I got it on the iPad right there.
Taking a look at Shenderick Powell, number 7, certainly one of the stars of tonight's game alongside his brother Dalen. The two of them combining for all but one touchdown for the Mustangs tonight. Here's Forrester. Hands it off once again. A lot of running room across the 15, now to the 20. Slung down to the 25-yard line, but he lost the football. I think Westside fell on top of it.
He might have been down there, but
that's kind of what I was thinking. But
at this point, you're going to take it if you're Westside, and you're not going to dispute it too much if you're the officials. But let's take a look at that. I bet we got a good angle on it here. No, it was loose before he went down. Yep, it was actually looked like it might have been in the Westside's hands, and he lost it. So good job there, Westside D, to force that turnover. And they've got pretty good field position here. Maybe they can mount and get them a good score before it's all said and done with. Is running clock, though, so they're going to have to let it roll.
So Russell comes back out as quarterback with 2:25 to play here in the fourth quarter. 49-12 again the score. Turbo clock mode in effect. A pitch out to Cunningham. Cunningham looking for the 30 across the 25 now. Had to run quite a ways to find that edge, but he finally found it. Picks up about 5 yards on first down.
Good little run there. Again, they can get them a first down here and run them a little 2-minute drill coming down. Good experience for these guys.
Second and 4, maybe 5 coming up now. Handoff that time is going to go to Michael Ivy. Ivy, I think, has got enough to move the chains for a first down.
Got a flag. False start there on Westside.
So they'll back them up 5 yards, and now under a minute left to play here in the fourth quarter. So probably time for one more play.
Hey, Mustang fans, how about giving it up for open night football here at Crowley Field and these Hoxie Mustangs?
They may just walk off the field here.
They might indeed. The play clock has not started yet.
There it goes.
And there it goes. So they've got time to run, I think, just one more play. There's about a 7-second differential here between game clock and play clock. So what a home opener tonight for the Hoxie Mustangs. They're going to get out of here with a 49-12 victory over these Westside Warriors. Final play of the game. There's Tyler Ray taking the handoff, moving it inside the 15-yard line, and that will do it for tonight's broadcast.